In this video, I built an epic castle to keep my valuable Minecraft mobs in. I also fit it with an insane wind charge player cannon, launching me to the top of the castle in a matter of seconds. But before all of that, I have a bunch of small tasks that I've been meaning to complete. The first of which being becoming seriously dedicated to this world, by getting the Serious Dedication achievement, which you get when you make a netherite hoe. For over 1000 days in this world, I've been using an unenchanted diamond hoe and replacing it whenever it gets used up. But my hoe days are over. Now I'ma wife this bad boy up, fitting it with efficiency, mending, and unbreaking. In terms of netherite, well, I was pretty low on that, so first things first, I went creeper hunting to get some gunpowder so that I can make TNT. I do have a gas farm which gets me gunpowder, but I can never be bothered AFKing, so I'm doing this the old fashioned way. As the morning sun started rising, I ended the night with 31 gunpowder. But when I went to make up the TNT, well, it only made 6 blocks. So I brewed up some fire res potions and traded with villagers for diamond pickaxes. This way when I run out of TNT, I can just insta-mine for ancient debris. Hey, that rhymes. After enchanting all the picks, I traded some pumpkins for emeralds and XP to heal my gear. Then grabbed a few beds as well and made my way into the nether. Down at Y15 I dug out a small tunnel and lined up the TNT. But when it exploded, there was nothing but lava and gravel. So I resorted to my insta-mining strat, then tested out the bed tactic. Soon after, I found my first piece of ancient debris. There was only one though, so I kept going. I ended the session with 6 pieces, but on my way back to the portal, I came across 2 more. So once I got home, I had 8 pieces of ancient debris, which I quickly smelted and turned into the almighty netherite ingots. With a couple of diamond hoes in hand, I got to work trading books and enchanting. Efficiency 5, mending, and unbreaking 3. She's perfect. I'm now seriously dedicated to this world and can begin my second task of the day, which is making a manual tree farm. I'm going to build it right here behind the pumpkin trading hall. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, just a simple collection platform so I don't have to keep waiting for saplings to drop when I farm trees. I've made one of these in nearly every world I play because they're just so handy for how easy they are to make. I'm surprised it even took me this long for this world. I gathered up the materials I needed, then started marking out the area using pumpkins, my new favourite temporary block. Once I decided on the exact placement of it, I used dark oak stairs for the border, put in the chests and hoppers, and got to work placing down the rails. Finally, I put down the minecart, then sealed off the area using stone bricks. For the middle section, I want to put some sort of light block surrounding the dirt where the trees will grow, so I thought green frog lights would be perfect since they will match the green of the trees. So I farmed up a few tadpoles and got ready for my journey. In order to get green frogs, you need a cold biome. Unfortunately, the nearest cold biome is about 1000 blocks away, but thankfully you can also use the end dimension. Since I have a nether roof path to the end, this was the easiest option. So I brought these 2 brave soldiers to space and gave them my balls so they could grow up quickly. Wait a second. The best part about this method is that as soon as they grew up, I could just push them through the portal, which would take them right back to spawn. Which is exactly where my base is. I put one of the frogs in the map garden next to Jeremy, but the other frog wasn't so lucky because he was about to be spending the rest of his life in hell. I brought him over to my magma cube platform to complete my set of 3 frogs that I keep there, then got him to do some murder, getting me plenty of green frog lights. But once I made my way back and put them in the platform, they looked bad. Like, really bad. So after trying a couple of other blocks, I settled on glowstone, making that whole frog detour completely useless. I tested out the farm and as you can see, anything that the leaves drop gets picked up by the minecart underneath. And with that, the tree chopping platform was complete. So once I updated my map wall with the new build, it was time for the next thing on my list, which is getting mooshrooms. Now there is a mushroom island near spawn, so I hopped on a nautilus and went to it, but it's tiny and has absolutely no mushrooms on it. I tried AFKing for them to spawn, but my passive mob cap might be full, or there could be something else I'm missing, because nothing happened. Luckily, I do know where another one is, but it's located 13,000 blocks from spawn, hence why I'm about to make a nether roof path to it. I calculated the exact coordinates of it, then put a sign down and began my adventure. Life without an elytra is hard sometimes, but having ender pearls makes it a lot easier. Once I reached the right spot, I built a portal, hoping it would take me right to the mushroom biome. And it did. Greeting me on the other side of the portal was a massive mushroom island, and this place was filled with mushrooms. When I say filled, I mean literally filled. Like your mom. Why is there so many? I leashed a couple and began the slow journey of running them back to my base. I couldn't use pearls this time or the leads would break, so it took a little bit longer. But I eventually made it back and put them in a pen. Since I now have so many different animals in here, I decided to separate the horses and the mooshrooms with a fence. I I still can't believe it took this long to get mooshrooms in my world, but now that I have a portal to their biome, I can build a nether roof path leading all the way to it. Now for nether paths, I usually stick to deep slate and stone brick slabs, but this is 1700 blocks away, so I opted for some bamboo fences instead, cause I'm at no shortage of that resource. I took my nether horse Gerald and we made our way to the Mushroom Island portal. I began building the fence pathway, but as I was sorting my shulkers, Gerald disappeared. Turns out he just went to check out the Mushroom Island, so after taking him back through, we spent the next half an hour placing fences, and I ran out at one point, so I did have to go back to get more bamboo. But then the pathway was done and there was a really long fenced off path all the way to the portal. Now that I was on the path grind, I had one more portal I wanted to make, this time to an outpost that's only about 2000 blocks away in the overworld. I might want to eventually make a base or build there, so I figured a nether path would be a great idea. I first went to the end to get a bit more obsidian, then hopped on a nautilus to go find where I wanted to put the portal. I came across a desert pyramid, which I carefully looted. Honestly, the TNT was probably the most valuable thing here, but I did get a June armor trim, which I don't have yet, so I'll take that. Eventually, I came to the outpost, and here's why I love it so much. Look at that location! That view is beautiful, right on the edge of a cliff. I took some time getting to know the local residents and found a good spot to make a portal. After taking down the portal it created, I went to the same coordinates on the nether roof and linked them up. Even if I never build here, this is a perfect way to get ominous bottles and capture pillagers. I finished up by making the nether roof pathway to my base portal. And now that that's done, it's the moment you've been waiting for. The main event. Let's get to work on that epic castle I was talking about at the start of the video. This is so exciting, it's going to be so fun, sitting here for ages getting stone. Yeah, I knew I would need a lot of stone for this, so I ended up AFKing with a few pickaxes at my stone generator, and I got around 10 shulker boxes of it. Spoiler, I don't even think I used one whole shulker for this build, but at least I'll have plenty of backup for the future. Next I got to work changing all the sand into dirt next to my archery range, since I want this castle to be built on grass. And I also deleted a small mountain from existence to give me a better view of the ocean. In between all the sand mining and dirt placing, I regularly visited the trial chamber to collect my half-hourly breeze balls, since I'll be needing them for the insane player launcher that will go in the castle. With the area flat and filled with dirt, I mapped out the size of the castle and began building up the walls. On each of the sides there are 5 archways with cobble behind them to give it a medieval look, and on each of the corners there are those little castle tower things where I'm going to be putting iron golems to act as watchguards. I used stairs to create little window designs on the towers and made all the walls 3 blocks thick so it looks the same on both sides. Again, I kept farming breezes every 30 minutes, and once the walls were done I made up some animal pens and then I could get started on the main tower. It's nothing special, basically just a massive stone brick tube, but at the top I did add some walls to add to the castle vibe. Then I got to work making the player launcher. I got this idea from a Kanban video, but made it simpler, and therefore a bit less powerful since I don't want to go too high and I also don't want to have to use too many breeze balls. It's literally just 4 dispensers with wind charges and a pressure plate in the middle. I also added this glass border 2 blocks above it, which will help me shoot straight up rather than to one of the sides. And here goes the test. The launcher works great, so with a bit of wooden planks and iron bars and red banners, the tower was finished. I then made use of my new tree chopping platform to farm some dark oak and use that for the flooring. Using the new June armor trim I got from the desert temple, I made up some armor and armor stands and added them to the inside of my castle. I then brought Ice Cream Cow and Nutsack 2.0 into their new homes and also got a bunch of brown dye from cocoa beans to make carpet to put on the fences. And with a few finishing touches like an ender pearl dispenser at the front door of the launch tower so I always have an easy way of getting down, the build was done. Thank you guys so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, have a great day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!